for the kind of the people.
Okay. So, my name is Muhammad Yaqub. I'm a second-year PhD student. And I would like to thank Nof and Joan for their efforts to have me here today. Thank you so much. To talk about the three flagship conferences, the 4C, the AAAL, and the TESOL. Did any of you guys attended one of these conferences before? GLI? Okay. Yeah, we work together, right? Okay. The 4C, which stands for Conference and College Composition and Communication. What does the name tell you? Just by seeing the name, that this is a very particular conference. It's only for the people who write about the composition and communication. It's not for anyone. Among the three, it's the most closed one. It's very, very, very specific to only the people who work on writing or who work on college composition and communication. That's why the rejection rate is the highest, I believe. For 2018, this conference is going to be in Kansas City. You know where Kansas City is? Yeah. Missouri, right? Which is, if you want to drive from here, it's like, oh God, it's like 18, 19 hours to drive from here. Anyways.
Well, at least you can drive, not like Portland or California.
Right. At least you can. I drove it once, by the way. Yeah. So the proposal submission deadline is what? May 9th, which is less than a month from today. So if you're planning to submit a paper, just be ready. Try to plan that from today. The theme, is it important to know the theme? It is very, very important to know the theme of the conference. Why? Can you guys tell me why it's important to know the theme of the conference?
Because you have to connect your proposal to the theme.
Right, exactly. Because your proposal has to be relevant to the theme of the conference. Like the theme is languaging, laboring, and transforming. If you are writing about something different, the first thing is that they will say that this proposal is irrelevant. They will disqualify your proposal because it is not relevant to the theme of the conference. Do all the conferences have themes? We'll come to that. Yes, please.
Sorry, but it's still very open-ended.
It is.
It is very
right.
It includes many things.
Exactly. It is still open-ended. It's still like big, still wide, but yet it has boundaries and it has borders. And you have to be within, your proposal has to fall within the boundaries and borders of that. That's the link. The link you can easily access the link if you just Google it. You will find it. When you write your proposal, this is from their own website. What they want. Before you submit your proposal, and even before you write it, you have to read this. You have to know what they want to see in your proposal. It's just like publishing a paper in a journal. You can't just blindly send the paper to any journal until you read what they want. Okay, so they say consider ways of our laboring with and on language might be process of transformation, or the transforming of people, transforming of places, transforming of languages, ideas, ethics, classrooms, communities, programs, organizations. As you just said, it's wide, but yet it is all about transformation. It is all about change. It is all about looking forward to the future, because that's what they say. Don't look at your feet, just look into the future. Consider these questions. How do we language? They use the language as a verb. How do we language in ways that are anti-racist or decolonizing or working against gender binaries and harmful assumptions about sexuality or disability, or resist patriarchal assumption? How do we language in ways that don't oppress others? Now you get an idea of of what they want.
They're specifying it now.
They are specifying exactly what they want. Look at the third one. How do we language in ways that bring larger populates to our table for communion, or take us to their tables? It's all about like getting together, going against discrimination, against racism. how can you, with writing, with the tool of composition, function in that area? How can we use writing to fight against racism, against gender boundaries and stuff like that? If you have an idea that goes in alignment with this, I urge you, go on and submit your proposal. If not, what if you already have an idea but it's not exactly in alignment with what they want? Try to find ways, you know what I mean? Try, as we will see in the sample that we're going to show today, try to find ways to make them go shoulder to shoulder.
You should make a link, yeah. You should
make a link. Because
even if it's not really rooted in what they are, in their theme, you should find something.
Exactly, yeah.
I think you should also, be aware of the political, arena. What this corresponds to the,
exactly what is going on now.
Development with the situation, the political situation, the social and political situation in America, especially in America. You have to understand the perspective. I think
that is exactly
this is a challenge for international students because. Yeah, you have to link it. You have to, think about the evolvement of the development of the American consciousness, how it evolves. Because if you see, older ones, that it's changing.
They are changing. Like this is for 2018. If you look at 2017, it was a little bit different. And exactly what you said is true. Then you have to look into that. We have to be familiar with what is going on here in the United States. I agree with that. Okay. When you send your proposal, they have people that they call raters. Those people that they send your proposal to. And they are the people who would decide on either your proposal will be accepted or not. But how do they decide? Just out of their mind, that they will say, okay, I like this proposal, no, I don't like that one. What is the process of making the decision on your proposal?
I think they use a rubric.
Exactly, they use a rubric. We have an example of the rubric, by the way. We'll look at it after we review the other conferences. Okay. We are limited of time, so we have to move on to the second one. AAAL. What is AAAL? AAAL, American Association of Applied Linguistics. When you think of this, this is bigger than the 4C. They don't even have a theme for the conference. Why? Because they have what they say the strengths, and you look, for the strengths. We will review the strengths together, and there is a theme for each strand. You look for that, and you see what you can do. Look at the date. The date is March 24th to 27th. What was the date of the 4C?
May.
March. All of them.
14th to 7th.
Oh,
yes, all of
That's
them.
the issue.
And that's one of the three. One of the reasons why I combined the three, because all of them on the same month.
Same place.
No, that's
yes, two of them. The AAAL and the TESOL Conventions are like big brother and little brother. They always all the time the same place or close to each other. And they like the AAAL ends right before the TESOL Convention starts. So they give you a chance. If you're going to go to the AAAL, you just go on and go to TESOL, both together. This one will end in 27. That's the last day. You will see now the first day of TESOL Convention is what? March 27th. You just finish this one, and you go to the other one. This is in Chicago. Chicago is like 8 to 10 hours drive from Kansas City, which is still not that far, by the way. You can take Greyhound or something. Okay, so AAAL is like, I would say, I don't want to use the word welcoming, more welcoming, but more accepting. They would accept diversity of topics. They do not specify like a certain like a topic or a theme. Okay, so what is the deadline? August 16th. You can apply for 4C now, but you can't for the AAAL. You have to wait until June 1st. They will start for June 1st and then end on August 16th. 4C is open now. You can just submit it right after the session. Okay. The theme depending on your strength. What strengths are they looking for? They want proposals to be in on analysis of discourse and interaction, assessment and evaluation, bilingual, emergent, heritage, minority education, corpus linguistics, educational linguistics, language and cognition, language and ideology, language and technology. See, it's really wide. Okay, let's go down here. Language planning and policy, which is sociolinguistics. Language, culture, and socialization, pragmatics, reading, writing, and literacy, research methods, second and foreign language pedagogy, second language acquisition, attrition, sociolinguistics, text analysis, written discourse, translation, and interpretation. If your topic is about one of these strands, just go on, click on that on the website. It will take you right away to the description, what they are exactly looking for on that specific strain. Which is, again, not hard to get into, by the way, and plan. This is my advice for you. If you want to plan, if you want to apply for the TESOL Convention, also apply for the AAAL. Both of this, as I said, one would end and one would start the same place, which is Chicago. Can you send the same proposal to both of them?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Maybe different, change the title.
Try to change the title, look better on your CV, because if your CV or resume had the same exact title twice, it wouldn't look that good. So change your title a little bit, and you can just submit. But for the AAAL and for 4C, you can only apply or submit one proposal as a main author. They do not allow multiple submissions. Unlike TESOL Convention. TESOL Conventions, you can submit 10 proposals if you want. Last TESOL Conventions, I submitted 4. They accepted 2, and they rejected 2. But at least I had a chance. So having this policy gives you a little bit of flexibility. So you can submit more, so they can choose 1 or 2. And also there's something beautiful in TESOL Convention that can guarantee you going to attend that, which is what they call the Masters and the Doctoral Forum. It is part of the convention, okay, but it has a different process, which is so easy to get into, because I talked to the vice president of TESOL Association in Seattle 3 weeks ago, and I wanted to know the rejection rate. And she said it was, the acceptance rate was 29%. She said that we received 3,000 proposals. And we accepted 29% of the 3,000 proposals. So there are a lot of people submit. You know how many people were there at the TESOL Convention? I'm talking about TESOL now, yeah. How many people go to TESOL Convention every year?
Thousands.
Yeah, like from 8,000 to 12,000. A lot of people. It's fun. It's great. It's a season. You shouldn't miss that one. Okay, look at the location again. Chicago. The same location of what? AAAL. Submission deadline June 1st, which is like almost a month and a half from today. So you should plan ahead and think from now. Okay. When writing your proposal, by the way, the date is 27. Look at that one. The last day is 27. First day 27. When writing your proposal, think deeply of what strand your focus is on. Again, but they have a theme. The theme is sustaining dialogues across TESOL community. That is the theme, which is, I would describe this theme as a little bit fuzzy, not clear, but yet they have a theme. Okay, when writing your proposal, you should also focus on one of these strands, because when you go there, they will give you a badge with that specific strand. You'll have your name, and you will have one of these written like beneath your name. adult education, applied linguistics, bilingual education, computer-assisted language learning, elementary education, English as a foreign language, English for specific purposes, higher education, intensive English programs, intercultural communication, international teaching assistant, material writers, non-native English speakers at TESOL, program administration, refugee concerns, second language writing, and secondary school.
I'm just surprised that they use the word non-native English speakers in TESOL, while they are the people who are opposing this term, right in the TESOL field.
Right.
There is like this whole,
It's vague.
this whole.
Yeah, there are still ideologies within the field that are difficult to change.
Right.
Yeah.
The
I think they shouldn't use this
Maybe
word.
there's no
Non-native speakers.
There's no alternate term yet. You know, it's really hard. How do you talk about people who don't speak it as, you know, first language?
You can just say multilingual.
Or not very expert. I don't know.
Right.
How can you say?
Multilingual writers. I hate these two words: second language writers and non-native English. Non-native speakers of English.
Usually, like,
I never use it.
people still operate using those terms.
Because they talk about less proficient writers. This is what it means. This is what beneath it.
Maybe we need to talk about it in our proposals. Like, maybe we need to talk about it if we got conferences.
I think Mohammed presented on something.
One of my proposals actually about, one of my proposals was about this one, and like one of the questions I asked, like it was a poster presentation. Whenever someone would come, I would ask this question: do you have an alternative?
Yeah.
Do you have another word?
Multilingual.
Some people would say multilingual, some people would say L1 and L2.
Multilingual is very vague too.
Right.
It's very open-ended.
I have this one, like she teaches somewhere in California. She says I use just like fluent speaker.
Yeah, that's good. That's better.
I said I like that. Yeah.
More accurate.
She said without like designating like a L1 or L2, because if you say L1 or L2, we still have this dichotomy, you know, who's L1 and who's L2. Who owns the language?
I'm the only concern with the term non-native is the power relation.
Right.
That is on the word, right?
It's a
marginalization of the term.
Because sometimes you have some people who are maybe not native necessarily, but they're more educated. They know more about the language. They're more proficient.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So, how should you go about choosing one of these trainings? Is it a random process?
For last time, recent I submitted something about international students turn taking, and we just put it as English as a foreign language because there's no such thing as English as a second language.
Right.
So we just chose something that's close to like that is closely related to our topic, but not necessarily the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Give it a moment of thinking. Just think about it, because what they said is choosing the wrong category can disqualify your proposal. So think about it. Which one is closest to your proposal's idea? Read your proposal very well. Go into these trends, click on them, read their description, and see which one would match your proposal's idea better. Okay. We still have more categories: social responsibility, speech, pronunciation, listening, teacher education, video and digital media. Do you see any kind of agreement or similarities between AAAL and the TESOL Convention from the strands? You remember the strands with the AAAL?
There are a lot of overlaps.
Yes, exactly. They are overlapping. Yeah.
Because they're both about applied linguistics, same field.
Right.
CCCC, 4Cs.
That's what the 4Cs is the most. That's what it says. The most closed.
And they focus more about the first year composition in America.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So, proposal evaluation criteria. As we said, there is a process. When you submit a proposal, it goes through a selection process. There are people who would sit down, and pay of their time to read your proposal and see if it will qualify or not. Look at this. How about the clarity of objectives and intended outcomes of the session? Is it clear or not? The appropriateness and significance of the topic, issue, or problem. The coherence and complementarity of the proposal. Expectation of original research. If it is a research, is it original or not? Research design, if an empirical study, including clearly stated questions, data sources, data collection, procedures, and an analytic approach. Conceptual framework, if you have one, is that clear or not? Methods plan to engage participants. This is really very important because what do they mean by this one? Methods plan to engage participants. And the manner of presentation. These two, what do they mean by this?
How you present it. Are you just going to read the stuff, or are you going to go use a PowerPoint?
Right.
Are you going to give them handouts and those kinds of stuff?
Exactly. Are you going to read it? Are you going to give your audience handouts? Are you going to do activities or play games? What exactly are you going to do? This is really important to include as part of your proposal. How would you engage your audience in your presentation? And then adhering to the proposal requirements. Let's look at some of the stuff that can disqualify your proposal. If you have a previous experience of not showing up, like let's suppose that you were accepted for TESOL or any of these 2017, okay? They put your name and your proposal in their book. I forgot to bring it over. They have a really big one. And you just don't show up. And you submit a proposal for the next year, you just disqualify because you have a bad experience last year. Unless you send them an email explaining what happened. But other than that, they will just disqualify your proposal. If your topic is not within the range of topics designated by the conference, as we said, it has to go under one of the categories. If your topic is thought to be of no relevance to the conference community, if the number of presentations are the same or similar topics and or subtopics are big. What is your topic? My topic is about language policy or like immigrants or whatever. How many people are submitting proposals on the same topic? Let's say 20. Which one of these 20 would stand out? Which one of these 20 is the best they would select it? That's why when you write a proposal, ask yourself this question. Am I the only person who's going to send a proposal about this topic and no one else will send a proposal about similar topics or not? The answer is usually you're not the only person. Usually there are other people who might send proposal on the same or similar topics. Like the experience of Saeed, for example, he had this beautiful presentation about parental involvement in their students' school or education. And we met a person, she had a similar topic, but different context, right?
Right.
And different focus. So try to be very specific that your proposal is different from others. Yes, there might be other people submitting on my topic, but that's where my topic is different. Okay. If the presenter appeared to have little to no experience because they're looking for the experience, you will be standing, in front of people, 50, 60, 100, 200, it depends on how lucky you are. Do you have experience to be in that spot or not? If you violate any of the above evaluation criteria, you directly disqualify. Let's go to some personal pieces of advice. And I would like you guys to share, if you have any. Stick to the guidelines of submitting to the proposal. Submit only one proposal to the 4C and AAAL, but more proposals to the TESOL. As many proposals as you can to TESOL, but when it comes to 4C and AAAL, just one as the main researcher, because you can submit 2 proposals for TESOL, for 4C and AAAL, one as a main corresponding, and the other one as secondary, as a co-author, but not the main one, okay? Look for posters since they are easier to get into. That's what the vice president of TESOL Association, when I talked to her, that's what she said. She said, we have mitigated policies when it comes to accepting posters. And posters are not bad. Posters are really good. It gives you a different experience. When I was presenting the poster this year, someone came and she introduced herself to me, and she said that she's from blah blah institution, and she would like to video record my poster presentation. And I said, yeah, that's fine. So she video recorded it, she uploaded the website, she sent me the link to the to my presentation. It's really good. It gives you a different chance. Dr. Hanauer, what did he say? You guys remember what Dr. Hanauer says about poster presentations? He says that go for poster presentations. He said all the time, or almost all the time, he goes to poster presentations. It gives you more chance to listen from people, for people to give you feedback. A better opportunity to speak in person to your audience, one after another. The only disadvantage is you get to talk a lot, more than any other kind of presentations. You really, like by the end of the poster presentation, like 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, you're really tired. You know? You need to drink juice, you need to drink water or something. Okay. Look for teaching tips. They are even easier. Like if you find one of the categories as a teaching tip, also go for that one because they're really easy to get into, the teaching tip. It's a category. You have a poster, you have a round table, you have a teaching tip, but not all of the conferences have this. If you find them having this, and some of them have it, by the way, it depends on the year, I guess. Just choose it as one of the ways that you can. But if you want to choose teaching tip, it's not a research based, it's just a practice based presentation. You seize the opportunity. Talk to the people. Talk to the plenary speakers, because the plenary speakers are famous people in the field. They would come and they would present. Seize the opportunity. Go shake their hands. Go talk to them. What happened with me personally is when I talked to one of the plenary speakers, I said, "Okay, now you work on identity. My proposal for my PhD is about identity. Can I sit with you for only 5 minutes? I wanted to show to show you my idea, and I want your feedback." And he said, "Okay, meet me tomorrow." You remember Said?
Yep.
And I met him the next day. He didn't sit with me for 5 minutes. He sat with me for 1 hour and 20 minutes. I read my proposal to him, and he gave me these insightful, beneficial feedback. It was really, really one of the best moments I spent at that conference. Seize that opportunity, talk to the people, learn from the people. Ask questions, don't be shy. Just ask as many questions as you want. Try to get to know. Because these big conferences, there are many things are going on at the same time, you know? Like I would say 50, 60 sessions are going on at the same time. You probably don't know which one is best for you. You can read the manual, you can ask people, see your friends, try to make connections, you know what I mean? Look exactly for which one is good. You can, like at 10 minutes, if you don't like it, just leave and go to the other one. That's what I did, that's what Saeed did, that's what all of us did. We attend, it ended up we don't like it, so we just, go to the next room. There's a different session. Make connection with people at the conference. It's unbelievable. People from, like this last conference, people from 80 different countries. We got to know people from Canada, we got to know people from New Zealand, we got to know people from Australia, from Europe, from UK. We sat with them, we talked with them. And have your business card, because they will ask you, where's your business card? You have your business card.
We missed that.
What?
We missed that.
Yeah, we really missed that. Like all of them, they have their business card, they would give you one. And I talked to one, she was a professor, she was running something similar to the AAAL here, the English Language Institute. And she told me that we are hiring if you're interested. That's my business card, just email me. Make this incredible connections with people across the country and across the globe. So have your business card. It's cheap to have a business card, by the way. Like right after those people asked me about my business card, I Google it, like business card. It was only 15 bucks,
$10 if you want to have
10?
250.
See, yeah, it's not depending on the quality of the car, right? But it's not that expensive. Try to wear formal attire if you would like. That's what we did, me and Said, because I don't know, but we felt like it would be more appropriate if we wear formal attire. Not everyone did so, by the way. Have someone who represents professional or geographic diversity. That gives strength to your paper. If you can have a co-author that is your professor, or that is someone from a different country, try to do that. Because they're looking for diversity in proposals. They're looking for, they would just go on and announce that of the conference, we have people from 80 countries. You know what I mean? So if Egypt, if China, if your country is not represented in the conference, try to have one of your countries, one person, as a co-author. Even if that person will not be able to just make it. Have your professor. That would add value to your proposal. When it comes to the hotels, you can use the Airbnb. You guys use it, right?
Use the house though.
Who knows the Airbnb? Who knows Airbnb? Raise your hand if you know it. Yeah, that's a good choice. And don't take a faraway hotel, right? What will happen, say, parking.
Have your own car.
We rented a car.
Have your own car. I went to a conference with other people on the same car. It was difficult because I couldn't go anywhere because we are sticking together.
Exactly.
It's better to have your own car.
Just to have fun.
Rent your own car.
Because in some cities, you know, it's
I wanted
difficult.
my own. I said no, I'm going solo.
Yeah.
So I can go back to my children.
But I didn't have my driver's license yet, so it was like I really had no other choice.
You know, some cities, they don't have parking in their hotels, so they have to park somewhere outside. Or if you have to pay for a whole day, I mean, it's expensive.
Yeah. So
And
you need to
even
look
when
into
we
the
tried
hotel.
to park, you know, in some areas, parking areas in Seattle was expensive.
It was really expensive.
Yeah.
So you need to have a hotel that has parkings with it.
Or a hotel that is like in a walkable distance from the conference.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Airbnb
what.
is a good choice. Some people take it because it's cheaper. When you're in a
Right.
group of people and you take it, it's good with multiple rooms.
That was the very next point. Make groups. Make groups. Travel with people. Like I had a conference about a month ago at Purdue University. And I emailed them, I said, hey, I'm coming from IUP. Do you have any other people coming from IUP so I can group with them, so we can come together? It will be cheaper for every one of us. And they said, yes, there are people coming from IUP. There are 3 people coming from IUP, but we cannot tell you who those people are. You just go look for them. But there are people coming. And that's what I did. I looked for the people, I found the people, and I made some groups and we went together. It was really cheaper for me and for them. Take your family. Just have fun. That's what I'm planning to do, inshallah.
It's in the middle of school year.
That's a problem.
It's in
But,
the middle
like,
of the school year.
Yeah.
Take a vacation there.
If you can take like a day or 2 off, or like 2-3 days off, then it's fun to take your family so they can just like that.
Really?
Look at the rubric. This is my advice. One of the advice I want to give you guys.
Is this the rubric for 4Cs?
This is for TESOL Convention.
Oh, okay.
But all of them. This is just a sample. You know, I just got it from their website. You can go to the 4C and get the rubric. You can go to AAAL, any conference. You can ask them. You can email them and say, hey, I want the rubric. I want to see my own proposal against this rubric. Read the rubric. Imagine that this proposal, okay, after you finish writing it, imagine that this does not belong to you. This is anonymous. It's someone else's proposal. And I'm going to evaluate it. Read the rubric and read your own proposal. You might give yourself feedback. You might edit your proposal so it can better match the program. Let's read this. Can you guys see it, or it's too small?
It's too small.
Do you have a copy?
No, it's not here. It's not.
Yeah, we have copies.
Okay, we can make it bigger.
Yeah, it's here.
Okay,
It's in the back.
Yeah, it's in the back.
It's in the back.
I think it's in page 4, guys.
Yeah. Number 1, currency, importance, and appropriateness of the topic to the field. If you want to be excellent, can someone read it?
The topic is cutting edge,
Yes.
relevant, groundbreaking, or significant to the field, and potential audience. It appears to be a very worthwhile session.
Right. So think about the audience. Who's going to be interested? When I was at Purdue, I presented a topic that I thought no one would come attend, because it was about the definite and indefinite articles, A and
Linguistics.
yeah, and it ended up having the most audience I ever had in any conference, because people like the idea, you know. So think about the audience. Like if they were really, people would come to me and say, well, "Hey, we had this problem. We need to listen to you," you know. So you just never know. But those people have experience. Your proposal is not the first one that they will evaluate. They have evaluated hundreds of proposals before. Purpose, participant outcomes, and session type. Can someone read 5, like the best proposal? Yeah. The length.
The length, content, and delivery methods match the session type. The objectives and participants' outcomes are very clear.
Right. If your session type is teaching tip, and then you would say that I have those participants and that's my methods of it, that doesn't match, because teaching tip is practice-based presentation. You should not select it. So when it comes to the selection of the session type, make sure that this is what you want, that this is what will be like adequate or what will fit your proposal method. Okay. Theory, practice, and or research basis. Someone read, please.
I'll read it. The proposal refers specifically to the relevant theory, practice, and or research in a detailed and comprehensible manner. In other words, current citations, terminology, and or debates in the field, and relates it directly to the presentation content.
Thank you. This is really important. You know, we are in this field, or in any scientific or academic field. There is an ongoing debate. When you read the journals, the issues, the articles published in the journals, those people are responding to each other. They're making a conversation, a dialogue. And that dialogue, that kind of debate is current. They will look, if you have citations, they'll look at it to see if it is 10, 15 years ago, if that topic still relates to the current debate, conversation among the scholars in your field enough. It has to be current, and it has to be of interest to the people.
Yeah, it has to be relevant. I remember one of the reviewer of our presentation
Yes.
Gave us the suggestion that we could use more relevant people, right? Instead of citing people like,
Right.
I don't want to say no-name people, but you better want to cite more people who are who publish in major journals.
See? So they can't give you that, because they will read it and they will see, okay, now Muhammad's proposal, about the clarity of the proposal, like, or the whatever. Is it this? Is it worth 5 or 4? Is it really good? Or not, or mediocre, not that good, or really bad? They will evaluate it. The last one, clarity of proposal as indicator of presentation quality. Someone read it, please.
The proposal is well written and suggests that the presentation will be of professional quality.
Yes, the proposal is well written, and this is a very good moment of transition to go to a sample proposal by JLI. So we'd like to thank her for sharing her own proposal. Now, that proposal found its way to the 4C. It was accepted, and she presented in 2017 4C. Would you like to come? Or read from where you are? It's up to you.
Do you want me to read this?
Not read, like, just tell us what you did.
Okay.
Thank you.
So basically what I did was presenting on a topic of Writing Center administrators' perception and practice serving the multilingual students in the Writing Center. And my proposal, if you see the organization, I started with the background of my study, the increase in the number of international students in the U.S. But there, along with this increasing number, there are also problems with naming the students. Like, do we use ESL? Do we use multilingual? Right? I then move on to talking about the gap. There's a lack of there are a lot of scholarly attempts to talk about theory, to talk about how to envision for the future, how to envision for multilingual writers, but there's a lack of study in investigating writing center directors' perception, and their practice in serving students. So if you look at the second paragraph, I just turn to the gap. I just clearly said, despite the recognition of multilingual writers in the Writing Center scholarship, the question of how writing centers exactly provide support for these writers still needs further exploration. And I cited a little bit more from the current debates and suggestions. And if you look at the last sentence of the second paragraph, through examining Writing Center administrators' reports and the linguistic framing of multilingual writers, this presentation therefore will explore how writing centers could cultivate new voices in the field, one of the themes of the conference. So this is what Nove had talked about, right? This is about linking your proposal to the theme of the conference. So you don't want to be like, okay, this is what I say, but it's not really, I don't really care about what your conference topic is.
I didn't do that on my 4Cs, and so I didn't get into it.
But
because I wasn't able to make this link. I mean, I didn't specify how the theme of my research connects to the conference, so I wasn't able to get into the 4Cs.
I don't know if that's the only reason, but that's a very good point.
Yeah.
It's important to make the connection. And then if you look at the third paragraph, I just talk about my study, like what I did, what method I used. Like I did a survey, so I said what kind of survey it is, like how many people I surveyed, like some preliminary findings from the survey. So I just discussed very briefly, from coding the data, like what kind of themes I got from the data. And the last paragraph basically goes from findings to suggestions. So what does it mean for the Writing Center scholarship? What does it mean for composition scholars? So this is just making a gesture, like how my study will serve to deepen our cultural understanding of multilingual writers and multiple voices, and move beyond the current framing and those kind of things. Yeah, so this is basically the structure of my proposal.
Thank you so much, Tamara. Thanks.
Thank you, Julie.
So, as we said here, it was very clear, written in a beautiful language, and it's so current. Look at the in-text citation, 2012, 2013, 2016 twice, 2014. That tells us this is a current topic. This is not an old topic.
But maybe a strength also because empirical research.
It's an empirical research.
This is very, because she's bringing new perspective, new data.
Right, but not every empirical research is accepted.
Yeah, of course, but I'm saying this is the
right.
Yeah, and also if you want to submit a proposal for the 4Cs, it doesn't need to be empirical. I went to a lot of sessions, especially rhetoric.
Yeah.
Rhetoricians, they sometimes just present a paper, looking into literature, looking like doing textual analysis. Those are not.
Yeah, but 4Cs is different because 4Cs is philosophical. But composition, most of the thesis, I look at it that they don't do empirical studies.
Right.
But applied linguistics, it's human. It's about human how they use language. So this is obviously a difference between them, I guess.
That's kind of right. Yes, I do agree. But by the way, you don't need to. Your proposal doesn't need to be empirical, like any of the three. It could be, but it's all about how you present it. how you market yourself, how you sell yourself. That's all about.
Yeah.
Can I ask
And
you
we
about
have-
this, Sorry, just want to ask her something. Was this a thesis or maybe a study you
It's
did?
just a study.
You did for a class? Or?
It's for a journal.
Yeah, you did for journal first.
I did.
And you got it published first, or you presented?
I just recently got in the journal as a column session for the journal for Writing Lab newsletter, and so basically I did the presentation before I could get into the journal. So usually it's like it takes longer for things to get published.
Yeah, and one more thing, if you don't get into 4Cs, doesn't mean that your topic is not good or
No.
you know, because even I got rejected from the 4Cs, I was accepted in the Writing Center Journal to publish that article. So I was rejected in the 4Cs, but I was accepted to publish the paper in a very established journal.
Yes,
So
of course.
if you got rejection from the 4Cs, this doesn't mean that your
Maybe it's
topic is not
perspective
good
from
or-
the specific readers.
Exactly, or maybe they got so many like proposals about writing centers, so they chose between them. So yeah, that might be.
Yeah, and also for the 4Cs, what I noticed is what is different between 4Cs and TESOL is in the 4C sessions, they put you with other presenters. They put you on a panel with other presenters, so with similar topics. So there's a question of how like your topic is sort of related to their topic as well. So it's contrary to what Muhammad just talked about. Like for the 4Cs, if your topic is just like so different from everybody else's, I think you have a lower chance. Yeah, because I was lucky, like it was lucky for me to find 2 other people doing similar studies about multilingual writers in the Writing Center. They just use different methods.
So they can put you in a panel, yeah.
They put me on a panel. I never know. Like before I went to the conference, I didn't know who they were.
Are they people from the IUP?
No, they
But
were.
because your proposal stood out, theirs also stood out. How many people did similar studies that you have found together?
I have no idea of that, but there are
Like the people who presented with you, like you're talking about now.
Two.
2 other people.
Okay. Do you guess how many people submitted proposals at the same time?
I have no
Maybe
idea.
20, maybe 50.
But I think as
They
a
only
professor,
choose 3.
I agree with them because I know some friends, American, like they put a panel.
Right.
They submit separate papers, but they say we want to be a panel because they're same topic,
Right.
similar.
Exactly.
But the same
Yeah.
as 4Cs, you
But
can
not
only-
identical topics.
Not
Not
Yeah.
identical,
No, of
but
course.
there's no such thing as individual presentation. So you must be
Yes.
presenting with other
With
people,
people,
like
yeah.
sharing the same devices.
Same thing.
So this is important to think about. Like you don't want to have like a topic that's so different from everybody else's, but you also want to stand
Right.
out. So this is a nice balance. There's
Yeah.
a nice balance.
Right. It's like you want it to stand out in terms of like your presentation, your clarity, your language, and all of that. You have to be sure that your proposal stands out in that manner, in that way. Okay.
Joe?
5 more minutes. Any questions?
Joe,
Oh, I had a
Joe,
question
Joe.
actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. When Mr. Yakov showed us the themes of 3 different conferences, I found none of them talked about the Writing Center studies. And GLA got this proposal accepted. Is there any specific strategy to make our Writing Center studies get accepted from the 4Cs or AAAL or TESOL conferences? Because none of them talked about it, actually.
But now what I showed you now is for 2018. And she presented 2017, which is, what was the theme for 2017?
Do you want to scroll down?
I think they had the
it
theme
was
of Writing Centers,
At the
right?
end of the second paragraph, how Writing Centers cultivate new voices. So the theme of the conference basically is about cultivating new voices in the field.
Right.
Like a little, yeah, it's not really, I think it's like broader than this year's conference.
Yeah, I think they had a category for Writing Centers actually, right?
Yeah, they have categories as well. Like I selected Writing Center because if you do not select any, I think this is the previous one, sorry, the previous paragraph. Yeah, if you do not select one, you you have to make sure that the people who are going to evaluate your presentation are the experts in your field. So if you choose somebody, digital literacy people to evaluate your writing standard proposal, that's a mismatch, right? So that's the thing.
Right. So it's, again, you can just word differently. You have to be careful about your wording. And then you can definitely make it fit with one of the strands of the conference.
I think we just need to find the link, yeah, June, I think.
Yeah. As for the theme of the writing standards, where did you get it? You mean, did you get it from the...
Oh, it's just making a connection. The theme applies to all fields, all the smaller fields, like sub-branches. Writing standard is just one of them. Like in the composition field, we have first-year composition, like, I don't know,
So
basic writing.
So you got the theme from the writing standard newsletter, right?
No, the theme is from the conference. This
Okay.
is for the conference. So the
For the
conference,
conference itself.
the theme of the conference is to cultivate new voices in the field as in general.
Yeah.
You can make a connection between your smaller contribution
Yeah.
and the bigger.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And how long do you have for your speech session?
Okay, that's a good question. For the poster, we have like 1 hour. For the round table, we have like 40 minutes. Well, it depends, because when you do it, you got to choose, I guess. Was that right, Saeed?
Mhm.
I don't exactly, because I have about too many conferences.
Because for us, well, with the next, we got acceptance and then the reviews, and then for me, I sent them again to say that I need to get this chance. So they offered me the chance to do like round table.
Right.
Otherwise, you can select, to do like presentation or round table or poster, depends, yeah.
For the poster, 1 hour and a half, I guess. For the round table, 40 minutes. For the oral presentation, it depends.
Peer reviewing our
like a panel or
proposals.
it's individual.
We want to create a
So
box
it depends.
So
where
there are
we all
three
can,
different
and then we can,
categories, right?
Muhammad, I
At
just
least
wanted
it'll
to
be 20 minutes. Yeah.
Are you guys interested in peer reviewing each other's proposals? We can just create a Dropbox, and everybody
That's
can
perfect.
just
That's a good
upload
idea.
his proposal, and whatever, like, if you're interested in any topic, you can just go ahead and
That's true.
just
That's a
put
good
your-
initiative from
That's a good-
CTA. Thank you.
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Are you guys willing to do that?
Mhm.
Okay. Good. So you will
I
just
definitely
receive an
am,
email
yeah.
from me with the Dropbox.
You get to wait like a few months before you hear
email
back
is
from them.
better.
If you submit your proposal today, you want to hear back to like how many months?
I think for the 4Cs, you're going to hear back from them in late August,
Right.
mid or late August, and for the TESOL, you're going to hear back around October.
Exactly. So you got to wait for 3 to 5 months to hear back by your proposal. It really takes time.
Thank you so much. Have to go.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you
coming.
for coming.
Jazakallah khair.
Barakallah. Also, today we are 1 year ahead of the conference. If there is some change, like let's say, for example, you submitted your proposal today, and then March of 2018, now you have read more, you have known more, your ideas and your thought have grown and changed. Can you change your presentation? Yes, you
And
can.
then you could reframe it like.
You
even
can just
For
reframe.
example, even in my proposal, yeah, so there are some deficit representations of the findings. If you look at the findings, reveal that. However, the finding also suggested deficit identification of monolingual students. This is pretty sensitive. I know people don't want to they don't want to be considered as using deficit strategies as
Right.
practitioners in the field, so I just deleted that. So you don't really need to, like, as long as the study is the same, like, you don't really need to have everything matching the proposal.
Right. This is what happened with me. I had some changes and I acknowledge it. You have to acknowledge at the beginning of your presentation, right? The first 5 minutes. You welcome the people, you introduce yourself, you introduce the idea of your topic, and then you acknowledge that. You said, okay, this is how I used to think 10 months ago when I submitted my proposal. But this is this is the change that I had to make for that purpose, you know, and people would appreciate that and they will understand that. Yeah.
Yes, you want to be critical but not too critical.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to hurt the feelings of those people working with you.
Right, yeah. Any other questions? We have 3 more minutes or 2 more minutes? 1 more minute.
Thank you very much.
No questions?
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for attending.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Thank you. And thanks, John.
Thank you,
The guy, can you come from the camera so people can see you, please? Yes.
The camera.
Hey guys, this is June. He's like the great guy. This is Nov. Nov, can you come from the camera, please?
No.
People should see you. Okay, thank you, Nov. She's a shy girl.
Thank you, Muhammad.
Thanks.
Thank you.